And you did it. Awesome. This round of applause is for you guys. I'm serious. I am clapping for you for having clicked on this video, and here's why. And I'm for serial when I say this. I am. I'm for serial. You have declared your freedom by clicking on this video. Yeah, you're not a gear elitist. And not being a gear elitist makes you free. Ooh, that is deep, Nut and Fancy. That is deep. Yeah, it is kind of. A lot of truth there too, right? Think about it. If you're a watch elitist, aren't you locked into certain price points? Generally you are. More expensive watches, costing perhaps thousands of dollars, because for whatever reason, you are not satisfied with, like I'm going to review right here, a $55 watch. You're like, yeah, that's not good enough for me. I need something else. I need a major brand that a lot of people really think highly of. Maybe Hollywood stars. And that's important to me. That's not you watching this video. Obviously. You've clicked on a Fossil watch review, the FB01. I'll talk about all the details. You'll probably want 1, 2, 3 of them in your collection. I'll explain why. But you're free. You're not constrained by ridiculous groupthink on the interweb that tell you, hey man, don't spend less than $500 on a watch. If you do, you're a dummy. I talk about this a lot, not just in watches, but in knives and guns. I fight against stupid groupthink all the time. I basically climb in my A4 Skyhawk in my reviews, do a couple strafing passes, drop a couple zingers, and then go off to the next subject. That's my reviews. But I do what I do. I'm after the truth. I'm not trying to subscribe to any groupthink. I think for myself, and because of that, like you, I am free. That's right. You and I are both free. We can buy whatever the hell we want, and in doing so, we save a lot of money. That's right. This watch, like I said, $50 to $55. As I'm filming it right now, I don't know if it's going to be discontinued. It is by a fashion brand. Fossil isn't that what they say? That Fossil's a fashion brand. Tommy Hilfiger, Diesel, Armani Exchange, also derided by, you know, the true urologists on the interwebs. No, they're wrong, dead wrong. This watch, for what it is, for its price level, is pretty excellent. You should add at least 1, says me. Now, why are you watching this video? You obviously like watches. Maybe you've bought a couple other pieces that I've reviewed. They have brought you joy. That's why you're watching it. Okay, if we dip into the psychology of it, it's fun to have a collection of stuff that you can swap out in your EDC loadout. It's fun. My watch today, for instance, probably hated by the elitists, don't give a damn, is a Strumenta Merino dive watch, chrono. Look at this, with a Nut and Fancy Hands mod, programmed. Try not to knock over Gundam. Look at that, dude! I don't know if this one's still available. Very cool. So this is just my value watch today. Pretty affordable. What did I spend on this? Oh, 80 bucks? Maybe. It's a quartz. Hands modded it. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, does it meet the standards of the watch elitist? Absolutely not, and I don't care. And you're like me, obviously. Otherwise, you would have never clicked on this video. So, again, golf clap for you. Round of applause for you. You're free, and because of it, you're able to extend into really, really excellent gear and a wide variety of gear. And that's the majority, I think, of the TMP audience. And that's one thing they like. They know I don't pull punches. I'm very honest. Don't subscribe to a zeitgeist. They love that. And I save them a lot of money, just like I will with this video. And you are able to get a knife collection, a gun collection, a watch collection that just makes you happy. Do you really need another watch? Probably not. Probably not. But did you need those 50 knives you bought? Not really. Do they make you happy? Do you use them? Yeah, Not Fancy, I do use them. They do make me happy. I'm not selling any of them. Okay. Okay, that's what we're doing for watches. The thing is that I'm $300 or below. That's my price point. And I think for $300 or less, dude, you can get a really good watch. This one's way below that. Let's get going with the review. And yes, you are free. Congratulations. Now, perhaps you are someone who says, hey, I hate Fossil as a brand. I hate fashion watches. And maybe you're super, super bored. And you did click on this video. I'm going to pretend that happened. I'll have some links down below of watches that I think will look like this, but will be much more expensive that I think the watch elitist would like. They're going to be automatic movements. Maybe they're $500, $600. I'll put several links below. I recommend you buy them. Use my links so I can go buy a hamburger. They're great watches. They are. But these are going to look about the same. Yeah, so you don't have to buy this FB01. Here's the black and white standard tactical black one. Check this one out. This is the Fossil FB01. That's the name of this watch. It's a looker, right? It has a Seiko look to it and kind of a conglomeration of other dive watches. This is not a dive watch. It does have some serious downsides. I'm going to cover them right off the bat right here, right now. But let's consider the looks. It presents very well, don't you think? The size is pretty excellent. It is 42, just over 42 millimeters in case size, 22 millimeter lug spacing, 12 millimeters in thickness, and just under 50 lug to lug with some downturn lugs. This, my friends, my watch friends in the project, is something that pretty much every wrist size could wear. So that's one reason I got some of these, is I wanted to review a smaller dive watch because I like the bigger ones. But I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and sometimes that just doesn't work for folks. Once again, this Strumento Merino, I'm not going to measure it, but it's kind of a big piece. It's like 48 millimeters, 47, something like that. It's a big watch, and it makes me happy. I love it, but maybe for your wrist, it just wouldn't work. By the way, Gundam in the house. This is an RX0, yeah, Unicorn Gundam Vist Foundation from the boys collection. Pretty cool. A4 Skyhawk sitting off in the wings, waiting for the next strafing run. And we got a couple watches in the background. I may mention them, maybe I won't. Okay, FB01. Now, let's go back to your knife collection in this WRV. Okay, and I'm going to make a point with this. Trust me. Let me just lay you down. There you go, dude. Here's the point I'm going to make. You got a lot, maybe a few watches that look like this. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think this is a great looking watch. I mean, it's basic black, tactical black. It's classic. Never goes out of style. It's a great duty watch if you're in the military or if you're in law enforcement. Yeah, it's really cool. It looks fantastic. But here's the deal. You need to switch it up. You need to get some colors in your life, just like you did with your knife collection. Case in point, and I'll just show you what I'm carrying today. I have a Paramilitary 2 in purple with a titanium clip. Why ain't I carrying a black knife right now? You know, tactical black knife, nothing wrong with it, but I have so many of them. I've used it so often. It's nice to put some coloration in the carry, right? Let's see, I still have this Microtech, Ultratech standing right here. It's, you know, basic black, tactical black. Great knife, by the way. Microtech tuned that sucker, by the way. It's a lot faster. Okay, so purple knife as my EDC. I also have in the collection, here's a Line Steel SR1. I'll have a link to this below. Fantastic knife in orange. You know where I'm going with this, right? Lightning in yellow. This is a discontinued Benchmade Ascent, coated in our shop with Cerakote. It's in blue and burnt bronze. I know, every time I show this knife, guys are like, man, why did they quit making that knife? I don't know, it's fantastic. Colors, it's fun. One more. How about an orange Urban Trapper from Cutlery Shop? Yeah, you have colorized knives. Time to do it in your watch collection. Boom, point made. Made the point. Yes. And you are now free. You have declared your freedom from basic black. Yeah, it's okay to get this one. I actually love this one a lot. But I'm going to show you some colors of the FB01 that are mind-blowing for me personally. And that's what drives the show. And that's what drives the show. My preferences, you know, I'm not, again, kind of clicking around the internet and putting my finger in the wind saying, hey, man, what can I say as a reviewer that will make me popular? As you guys know, when it comes to that, I just don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I just say what I say. I'm just honest, and I love these colors. Here we go. First one is in neon yellow, FB01. I don't know if the camera is really doing a great job capturing this. It's really bright, like fluorescent yellow, and it's fantastic. I love it. I just love it. And the markers and the stick hands, actually a sword hand here, stick hand up here, they're kind of bleached out fluorescent yellow. The camera's not doing a great job with that. So you got yellow. You've got orange, dude. Fossil FB01 pseudo diver is what it is. It's not a dive watch. It's a pseudo diver. It's meant to look like a dive watch. It does not have the functionality of a dive watch. Look at how cool that looks. 50 bucks? 50 bucks? Yeah, time to put some color in your EDC loadout. And here comes a hands modded neon blue, nothing fancy, modded Fossil FB01. I painted the hands on this. Look at that, dude. Oh, that is good looking. Now, if we just, again, go back to the looks, especially if it's been programmed, they're striking. It's a beautiful watch. Fashion watch? I don't know. Use that term, don't use that term, I don't care. All I know is I like how it looks, and it's super affordable, it's lightweight, it's really easy to wear. It's fantastic. Now, let's get into the downsides. I promised you I would, here we go. The first thing I hate about this watch, of course, is it is a fixed bezel. I know, I hate that too. Why, oh why, didn't they spend just a couple bucks more and make this bezel rotate? Bidirectional, unidirectional, I don't care. I don't like that it's fixed. I hate it, in fact. Yeah, I know. I use my timing bezels all the time. I say that in every dive watch. I was like, yeah, that's like a very, very useful function for me personally. And I think most y'all are that way too. But don't discount the FB01 just for that. Remember the price. And then you need to ask yourself, how often do I use a timing bezel? I'm still wearing a smartwatch on my other hand right here. So I have timing functions on this arm, as I mentioned. In that video, 10 unconventional rules for watch happiness. Go watch that video, by the way. Fun, fun, fun. Speaking of departing from groupthink. Yeah, so that's a downside. A minor downside might be its Cyclops date window. The good thing is it allows you to read that date, making the negative display more legible. That's all good, but it also kind of is a hump and it can get scratched. And for me, I'm not able to put on a crystal protector on the FB01. Minor downside. No screw and crown, of course. Not a dive watch. It's a pseudo dive watch with a dive look to it. We do have a screw and case back on this, right? And it is 100-meter water resistance, technically speaking. I would not dive this past 20 feet. Maybe I'll do it in the future if this gets a lot of views. I mean, a lot of views that motivate me. I'll go take this scuba dive and we'll just see how it does. I'll take it at 40 feet and see if it fails. We'll see. And that's pretty much the end of the downsides. You thought there were a lot, right? Not really. Oh, okay, one other downside. For me, notice how the hands are outlined in black. And we'll get into the face details here, and it's mostly good. So it's outlined in black. I hate that. I know. I don't like shiny hands. I like solid hands that stand out. Is it a big deal for me? It really depends. So I painted these hands right here. So they are matching, as you can see, obviously, the markers, the strap. That looks factory, right? It's not. That's a nothing fancy hands modded watch. Hands modded. And I painted the second hand orange. Good looking watch. Good looking watch. Yeah, I like it a lot more. I wish it came like this. It would make the hand starker, broader in appearance. This one, the tactical black version, has shiny hands, and you know how I feel about that. Shiny seconds hand, has shiny outlining on the applied markers. They're not painted on, they're actually applied, so they're kind of three-dimensional. That's an upside to the FB01. I really like that. Decent loom, and while we're talking here, I'll show you loom somewhere along the way. It's not great. It will look awesome as it comes out of sunlight, but it diminishes pretty quickly. But it's a $50, $55 watch, so does it really matter? This watch, the tactical black version of the FB01, if its hands were painted pure white or covered in pure white loom, and you had a red seconds hand and orange seconds hand, that to me would be over the top. That and a movable bezel. And look at the bezel traction. It looks like this thing should move, right? I mean, that is some really decent cut serrations in that bezel. It's such a psych out. Now, the good news is, for TMPers who are super anal retentive, Your 12 o'clock pip is always lined up on your FB01. I'm being serious. So like I'll have a timing bezel and some WRVs, and if it's slightly out of alignment, someone will make a comment, man, please just put that at 12 o'clock position. It's really bugging me. And I'm like, dude, I use it for timing all the time. I'm not setting it at 12 o'clock. The cool thing is, dude, always at 12 o'clock with FB01. More details of the face. You've got Fossil painted on there. And by the way, there are several Fossil watches that I have in inventory that are fantastic. They're super high value. I don't care about the name on the face frequently. I just don't care. I'm looking at the watch as a whole. Again, be free in your watch decisions. 100 meters on the bottom here, as you can see, FB01 being occluded by the hour's hand. I like this seconds hand here, so it's half yellow, black on the other side. I probably wouldn't change that seconds hand at all. And then we have a very slender inner chapter ring that does not take up a lot of case space. So even though this is a 42 millimeter watch, it wears kind of bigger. It seems like it's a bigger watch than it is. And if you get one with a satin finish case like that one, it will present larger on your wrist. Like I always say, the darker PVD coated watches are going to look a little bit smaller. And I'm going to put this blue one on my wrist so you can see what it looks like. On my 7.5 inch wrist, this is a Fossil FB01. Look at that, dudes. Oh my gosh, that is a great looking watch. Great looking, and it makes me happy. Like if I wear this all day, I'm like, every time I look at that, I'm like, oh dude, that is awesome. That looks great. And as you can see, I've worn it already. I've gotten it wet. I went in a swimming pool with it. Didn't take footage, but I went in a swimming pool. It was fine. That looks fantastic. I'm sorry. That's just perfect. The ones I would hand mod, if I were to keep them, definitely the blue. I love how that turned out. I would probably leave the orange one as it is, because that is a unique orange. It matches perfectly. The indices, the lume is there. I know when I paint it, I lose lume. This seconds hand also orange and black, just really nicely executed thematically. I would definitely paint this one, the basic black version. I don't like shiny hands at all. I get rid of them. Here's a Aviate Bullman, case in point. So those are pure white hands. They look fantastic. Way, way better than it came out of box. The yellow one I'd be debating on. I probably would paint those. Yeah, and I do have videos out there if you're wondering what my process is. It's pretty simple. You do run the risk always of completely ruining the watch. Completely ruining it. Okay, here's the case back. Like I said, it's screw in. I love that. At least it's not a snap back case. Right? And look at that. We have quick release spring bars in this value watch with a Fossil branded silicone strap, which is pretty excellent. Again, you can see 22 millimeters in lug spacing, so you can put leather straps on there. This can be a real strap monster, and you could swap out anything you want. You can experiment with NATOs. For me, I think the straps that come on it are fantastic. I don't want to swap them out. They're part of the charm, especially when we talk about color diversification in your collection, right? Here's a call number on this one, FS5686. Black and clasp. We've got the Fossil logo there. No logo on the crown, and I don't care. Side view of the case right here. Really trim. It just seems like and it wears like a really trim dive watch. A single silicone keeper. It does okay. It's not barbed like we see on some of the other more advanced products like Casio's doing these days. You have kind of a diver accordion on this. I don't know if it's functional. It's basically just for looks. And if you don't know what that is, this was designed to expand over a wetsuit. As a wetsuit it contracts and expands underwater, that's what you see those for. Kind of a diver accordion, technically speaking. Really nice strap though. And as we see in the Fossil brand, they just do a great job with the entire watch. Straps included. Their straps are fantastic. So in this version, the FB01, we're seeing silicone, 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 silicone. I would not change the straps out. Fossil is such a great brand. It's such a high value brand. And I have reviewed a couple of their watches before, but I don't know. This watch is totally cool. Other details, I pretty much covered it. Oh yeah, mineral crystal, of course. It's not going to be sapphire. Doesn't really matter. And I didn't show you this clasp right here. Stainless steel Fossil variety. Really beautiful colors. And we're coming to the end of the video already. I do have one competitive option to show you. It is also from Fossil. It is also a value watch. It's called the Forester. I think that's the name of it. I'll show you the SKU number on it. Here it is right here. It's a beautiful field watch, really. Look at that. So, I mean, this is a dive watch aesthetic and this is a field watch aesthetic, but they're using basically similar movements. I think this is a Miyota 2415 running a 926 battery. I broke this one open, but I forgot what it was. It's just a basic Miyota movement, which are great movements, by the way. Very reliable, easy to work on. But this is another one, and this is a FS5612. And I will probably review this Forster separately, and it comes in some phenomenal flavors. Really cool flavors. Would I do a hands mod on this? Absolutely. Yeah, we see, again, shiny hands. I don't think a lot of you guys care. I'm just talking about me and what I like. And also the hands just seem more broad. Even though it just seems like a very slim outline, you'd be surprised. And I have one on the table showing you right here. So here we have the blue, orange, and the hands just look a little bit different, right? Great handset on this, by the way. So there you go. FB01 golf clap for you having watched this video. Go out and buy one. Again, I'll put links below. It's such a fantastic value watch. It's just a fun piece. I think it can wear well for both men and women. So if you have your wife and she likes, for her, it might be a bigger watch, you know, because it is 42 millimeters. Experiment with it. I think it's sexy when women wear large watches. I always like it. Mad Fancy will see you.